First of all, Geshe, I'd like to say good morning to all of you. And I personally, we all, on behalf of all of us, we like to say welcome to some of our new friends, new faces, to our temple or to these classes. You are most welcome, and we are glad to see you are here, and hope that you can have some benefit from the classes, from the teachings. So I hope you will enjoy it, and thank you very much.
아니, 다 투수 기피도 되다는 거 들었잖아. 누가 찍는 거 투수 기피도 되다는 거 해주잖아. 그래서 리스에 그냥 그냥 가고 있어.
Geshe said, it is, you have made big sacrifice today coming here. It is actually the best day of the week. Weekend. Weekend is the best day. It's the time for you to have rest, enjoy, going out, shopping or having fun. But instead of doing all these things, you sacrifice all those mundane things and came here to study the Dharma. So he admired for this sacrifice, and he would like to say thanks for coming to study the Dharma. If you are someone who likes to sleep, and today is the day you can sleep almost all day. And if you are someone who likes to go out, hang outside, shopping and so forth, and it's the day that you can do all these things. But you made all these, you sacrificed all these things, and came here to study Dharma. So he admired for that, and like to say thanks for coming. He himself, in fact, is very ordinary Tibetan monk, very, very ordinary, and not really well educated, having very sufficient, very basic understanding of Buddhism, and he is someone he is not someone who has name and fame and position in the society as well, but a very simple, ordinary monk. But you all came here, thinking or expecting that he might have something to benefit, some benefit teaching. That's why you came here. So he likes to say he's really pleased to see that you all came here and wanted to learn something. So he likes to thank you again. Maybe right now, even though we spend quite a lot of time chanting and meditating, you must experiencing some pain in your legs as well. Even though you are experiencing pain in your legs, but you still have to, suffer for 1 hour and a half, 30 minutes still.
It's almost icing on the cake. This is the best part.
You still have to be patient for 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is just a small job. So we from the east, like Vietnamese and Tibetans, Indians, from the east, we got used with sitting cross legs. You are Westerners, sitting in the West. You are Westerners. You used to sit on the chair all the time. He understands that you have difficulty sitting cross legged for a long time. And so you don't have to sit cross legged. You can sit on the chair, but make yourself comfortable. You can stretch your legs forward. If you like, if you feel comfortable, make yourself comfortable. He had his experience that it's not easy for you to sit cross leg.
이 Geshe 가듯이 빼면 나한테 Geshe 가듯이 그냥 아주 쪽 같이 땅 거야. 세바 정말 빼면 가지고 그랬잖아.
If you experience pain in your legs when you have cross-legged, and then even Geshe teaches you can't focus on teaching. Your focus would be on the pain that you have experience on your legs. It's not a good idea. So you have to make yourself comfortable so that you can focus on teaching.
아주 다른 사람을 보면 되도 만남시 정모로 와. 아니 때문에 차로 와. 아니 정모도 뭔 같이 여러 지는 맞이네. sambu가 빼면 가도 싶었어. 그래서 지버렸어.
While he was in Dharamshala way up on mountain cave and meditating, and sometimes it's too cold, and he also experienced pain in his leg or in his knee. So whenever he experienced pain in the legs or on the knees, he can't really have complete focus on the object of his meditation. So he's saying these things because you have to make yourself very comfortable when you are listening to teaching, so that you can have complete focus.
이제 cancer 세바 빼면 가도 갔어.
So you don't want to spend your focus on focusing the pain in your legs. So
야, 다 들이 주시대 가상 데도와 통보다 감다 들을 거를 하시 주시듯이 도스. 근데 그냥 다들 그냥 속스 그냥 주시고
today the topic is known as the topic of discussion is known as mainly the 5 aggregates of, in Sanskrit they call 5 skandhas, in English the 5 aggregates, and 12 sources, internal, 6 internal and 6 external sources, and 18 constituent or elements. These are the topics that we are going to discuss, and he's going to brief these topics.
저는 얘다 뒷가브리 양성을 던졌다가 막 풍부하다 감다도 그거를 제시시 되죠. 잠깐만 가브리 창고 체리 돈을 뒤피신 띵 사바다라서 저기 또 내가 가서도 시행 모빌에 다 거기 틀리고 되지. 띵 사바다라서 또 뒤에 대성지에다 알아 속지시 아니 지단이 방법도 좀 봐도 뒤지지 못해 싫어 요마도 뒤지 맨승해지 지 공부 제공 돌아가야 되지 이제 시작하는
Geshe said he's not going to spend much time discussing or teaching about the topic that we have chosen today, because these are the topics that can be understood more easily through the scientific point of view. These are the topics what we call in Buddhism the basis of all, the basis. So these can be studied and understood through the scientific point of view. But he will give brief explanation of these 5 aggregates and elements and so forth, and then after that he will start teaching about the meditation known as analytical meditation. We did talk about single-pointed meditation last time, so today he's going to spend more time talking about analytical meditations, which he thinks very important for all of you. The explanation of the analytical meditation would be based on the Lamrim teaching. Is it okay with you?
Yes.
So if you think that he's not teaching, he's not spending much time on the topic that you have chosen, and then if you feel upset about it, he would like to apologize for that. In Buddhism, when we talk about 5 aggregates and 18 constituents or elements, and 12 sources they talk about, these are discussed in the text known as Abhidhamma Kosha, the treasure of knowledge in English. Abhidhamma, the treasure of knowledge in English. These are talking about the basis of Buddhist philosophy.
다 속의 풍부스 드레스 거다. 속의 풍부스 그래서 말이야. 나도 지기 뒤에서 풍부여래. 다 풍부 안에는 속의 풍부지. 속의 풍부, 저의 풍부, 유시지 풍부, 유시지 풍부, 나머지 풍부 말이지.
The five aggregates, the five skandhas are known as form aggregate, feeling, and discrimination, and composite phenomena or composition factors, and then consciousness. These are known as five aggregates.
소기 풍부세야 되더라. 치송하다, 망송하세 정도. 치송하. 소다 소마도 미 통대로 소요고 소지 다지 지지 로지 제자지 어디도 상관 소리 부분은 되고 그랬어.
When we talk about the form in general, we talk about five external forms and five internal forms. When we talk about form, five external forms and five internal forms. Five external forms are six external forms and six internal forms. The six internal forms are known as the form and sound and smell and taste and tangible object, and phenomena, 6. Okay? So when we talk about six internal form, and we talk about eye sense power, and ear sense power, nose sense power, tongue sense power, and body sense power, we call power, and mental consciousness power. When we talk about the feeling, first is form. Five aggregates. First is the form of the five aggregates, and next is feeling. When we talk about feeling, we talk about feeling that is developed through the five senses. Okay, feeling developed through five senses, and feeling developed at the level of the main mind, mental consciousness. Categorized into two. Feeling developed through the senses, five senses, and feeling developed at the mental level or consciousness. When we talk about the feeling developed at the feeling developed at the five senses, at the level of or through the five senses, are also, we can talk about three different levels of, three different types of feeling. Pleasant, the feeling of pleasant and unpleasant, and neutral feeling, developed through our five senses. And also the feeling developed at the level of the consciousness can be also classified into three: pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling or neutral feeling. And the third aggregate is known as discrimination. Discrimination is what is the discrimination? Discrimination is the feeling or perception, I should say, such as, oh, this is a car, it's moving. This is Mr. Luz. This is, Mr. Dennis. He's, going, walking, and he's saying such and such things. We have perception of every single object and their movement and so forth. So these are known as, this is very good, this is black, this is white, this is good, this is bad. These are known as discrimination, discriminative senses or discrimination.
두제 강이 뭐 디 띵기 아니 메타버스 제바스 캐주스도 봐. 메타버 제바 깨바스 그 캐주스도 봐. 두제 강 두제
The fourth one is the fourth aggregate is known as composite. I see the translation composite phenomena, or as well as compositional factors. This translation. So this is what is composition factor, or what is composite phenomena? Is like when we talk. So they are like the attributes or adjectives of the object, such as this the bell is impermanence. Impermanence is the impermanent is the one of the attribute of this object, right? And then such as and also black and white, permanent, is the attribute or adjective of the object, right? Adjective and an attribute is quite similar, right? Is describing, you are describing one of the particular quality or attribute of the object. So these are categorized or classified as composite phenomena, such as impermanence and so forth.
간다 수고 공부, 소유 공부, 두시 공부, 나바시 공부를 시험에 하는 거 강의 받을 두시스. 공부시고요. 공부가는 실내 시행 되는 거 두시 강의 받을 두시 공부.
So compositional factor or composite phenomena is the phenomena that is apart from the rest of the four aggregates. Make sense to you? So composite phenomena, apart from the four aggregates, and the remainings are known as composite phenomena. Apart from the four aggregates, form and feeling and discrimination and consciousness. These are not, apart from these four, the rest phenomena, the remaining factors, remaining phenomena are known as composite phenomena or compositional factors.
넘버십 써야 돼. 셈다 셈주 얘기냐네. 조심 때문에 넘버십
And the consciousness, the fifth aggregate, when we talk about consciousness, if you say what is consciousness, then consciousness is when we talk about mind, we talk about primary mind and mind or mental factor. We talk about mind and mental factor, or primary mind or mental factor. So those which are known as primary mind or main mind are known as consciousness.
다 체리 수기 소에 다 체리에 사실은 수기 풍부세요. 네, 패션 체리에 다시 띠를 붙여 두고 그랬어요.
So when we talk about the form, we also talk about the aggregate of the body aggregate. That's body aggregate. So scientists can explain or describe the body aggregate very well.
다 저의 공부에 패션 약하고 이렇게 하고 그래.
But scientists will have difficulty defining or explaining the aggregates of feeling.
패션 저의 공부에 대해서 이제 담반은 자자도 하고 그랬어요. 뉴텐시가 두고도 하고 그랬어요.
When the scientist tries to define the aggregates of feeling, there might possibly they might pinpoint to some of the matters such as the nerves in the brain.
나한테 중에서는 초화증에도 소위 공부스기도 안에 셰베도 시고 그랬어.
According to Buddhism, when we define the feeling is defined at the level of the consciousness. The feeling is defined at the level of the consciousness. It's something developed at the consciousness. It's not at the level of the nerves and kind of matters. And scientists also will have difficulty. This is his own personal view or thinking, opinion, I should say. Scientists will also have difficulty defining the composite phenomena or compositional factors. And the scientists might, when they talk about the composite phenomena or composition factor, they might refer to any kind of matters. But according to Buddhism, the composite phenomena is not posited as a form. It does not refer to the form. For example, when they talk about compassion, I think he noticed or he heard that the scientists, they refer to the nerves, the nerves in the brain. In the Buddhism, we don't pinpoint to the nerves. When we talk about compassion, or try to define opposite the compassion, we don't pinpoint to the nerves. When the scientists talk composite phenomena, some part of composite phenomena can be well described by scientists. Some part of the composite phenomena is very complex. It's a very subtle topic. So scientists can describe quite well some parts of the composite phenomena. If you ask scientists to describe the composite phenomena of a particular object, such as this table, and they can tell you or describe the composite factor of a composite phenomena of this very particular table, such as its impermanence, its kind of certain qualities that they can describe pretty well, or when you ask them particular object, So when we in the composite phenomena, when we talk about composite phenomena, it also includes the topics or subjects, such as law of causality, the cause and effect, and so if you ask scientists to describe the composite factors that contains that in the causality, in the law of cause and effect, then they would have difficulty defining the composite part of the law of causality, cause and effect. For example, if you ask the scientist that how the child is born out of once his or her mother, then they can tell all the physical process of the birth, which is quite visible through our naked eyes and the instrument and so forth. But they can't tell you that its ultimate causes and where it's coming from, its ultimate root of its birth. They can't describe, and they can define, they can pinpoint and say this is the ultimate root of this very child, its birth or something. And roughly, the scientists, can say that the ultimate cause of that of the birth of that very child, they might they might say or pinpoint to the most subtle atom, the most subtle atom. The atom is the only word I have. We call butane. That means it's the most subtle atom. And if you ask, but if you raise this question to in front of religious leaders, or what you find in the religion is in some religion you will find some differences, different explanation, different such as for example Christianity would say this is because God gave birth, right? And then some other would say also that they point to the different gods, but in Buddhism it's also different a little bit. So we have you will find a contradiction the way in which the religion explains the root cause of that child, and the scientists explain the root cause of the child, ultimate cause. And if this in terms of the consciousness, which is the fifth aggregate, the consciousness, if you ask scientists to define the consciousness, and then they will have really difficulty. This is kind of most subtle and most difficult subject to be discovered. Or it's very tough or difficult for the scientists to explain and define and pinpoint. Say this is consciousness. They encounter difficulty defining the consciousness because they don't accept the past life and future life. They don't accept the past life and future life. We can have a very good discussion with the scientists. We can sit down with the scientists and have a lot of discussion about these issues. And he believes he noticed that scientists are capable of describing or defining the external things very well, but he thinks that they will have difficulty defining the internal world, such as consciousness. And consciousness, is the most difficult issue for the scientists to explain correctly. But he don't want to talk much about the scientific point of view of the things, because you may have more, you might be more educated about the science. So he feels, if he says something, it might be embarrassing for himself. It's like someone teaching ABCD who hasn't studied ABCD English. This is a brief introduction of the 5 aggregates. We also talk about when we talk about the basis of all, we talk about 6 elements. Like 4 elements: water, earth, and wind and fire, and that includes the space, and space and consciousness. These are known as 6 elements. Among the 6 elements, the 4 elements, water and and earth and wind and fire, these are well explained by the scientists.
야 지든 그 좀씩 동네 시대 zamaya 남바다야 데스 누려야 있어요. 지든 저 도마 좀씩 동네 감시죠. 감시고 뒤에서 시라야 되고 있어요. 얘는 남배 중에 되시게 하디 아니 체리베 되시게 하다 정말 남배 중에 힐링이 됐어요. 힐링이 얘는 남배 중에 되시게 카시스테르 이렇게 많이 되는 거예요.
The formation of the earth and how did these 4 elements came into being and their structure and their formation, their existence. We find very similarity between the scientific explanation and Buddhist explanation. Also, we accept many of the explanation, the scientific explanation of these 4 elements. And there are some explanations that the Buddhist explains, but the scientists they do not accept. And the next is known as 12 sources. And the next is known as the 18 elements. When we talk about 18 elements, these are also included as a basis in the basis. 18 elements are 6 objects of our 6 consciousness, and and 6 objects of our 6 consciousness, as well as 6 sense power. A sense organ or sense power. Organ is the matter that sense power resides. Sense powers are within the organ of the. Let's say eye sense power is resided in the eye organ, right? So we talk about 6 powers and 6 consciousness and 6 objects of the 6 consciousness. Okay, so these are known as 18 elements. 6, 6, 6, 3, 18. The object of 6 consciousness, if you ask the scientists the explanation of this object of 6 consciousness and the Buddhism's explanation of this object of 6 consciousness, you will see differences, different way of explanation, different explanation with respect to the object of 6 consciousness from Buddhist point of view as well as from the scientist point of view. Scientists, they would say, when someone, let's say such as me, when I die, my body will be, when you put into fire, will be burnt completely. But but from the Buddhist philosophy point of view, it's not completely burned. I'm not getting completely. Do you, when someone burns, what do you call burn? Cremation. When you cremate the body, would you say the sense powers are burnt? Sense powers are burnt? Yeah. According to Buddhism, they are not burnt. The sense powers, they are not burnt. So there are certain things that the way in which we explain is different than the scientist's explanation.
미보 유지 컨트롤 샤게나 수다 티로 지세스도와 수다 티로 지세게나 미보 유지 컨트롤은 신고 얘기를 소샤야 그랬어. 그래서 또 봐도
네, 신도 고지.
신도 고지 용수들 그랬어. 제리백이 신도 고지 용수들 샤게가 말했어. 미보 유지 컨트롤 나와라.
When Buddhist talks about the six, when Buddhist talks about the six objects of our six consciousness, and we talks about certain very most subtle objects of our six consciousness, which is known as the Shindokoju. Yeah. And the very subtle object that cannot be perceived through our senses, that cannot be perceived through our sense power, what they call very most subtle, the object that can be perceived through our senses, through our sense powers as well. The most subtle object that can be perceived, can be discovered, can be understood, their existence through the meditation, the power of meditation practice. Through the power of meditation practice, the yogis they manage to discover those. The yogis, the meditators, manage to discover those subtle objects, existence of those subtle objects, which are normally not discovered or understood by ordinary being through their ordinary sense. So, through this serious practice of meditation, there is possibility that one can jump up or fly in the sky, but the scientists cannot make you fly in the sky. They can help you fly. They can make you fly in the sky only through the external things such as plane, right? But not through the transformation within the mind. And there are so many subtle things that can be explained or described by the scientists, which is described in Buddhism. Geshe says probably the six consciousness, the scientists would not accept the existence of six consciousness. They might name the consciousness, but the way in which we define the six consciousness are different than the way in which the scientist describes. So 12, we talk about 12 souls, they are same, 12 internal, of 6 internal and sources and 6 external sources. These are also included in these are already included in the 18 elements. So these are, this is just brief introduction of the basis, such as 5 aggregates, and 18 elements, and 12 souls, and so forth. When we teach Buddhism, this is how we classify. First we teach the basis, in which the things that we study, whatever we talk about, and then we talk about the path, path. And then the third one is we talk about the fruit of the path, the result of the path.
당에 디시가 공격도 다시 제시나 공격에 다시 근데도.
Now Geshe would like to teach a little bit about the analytical meditations.
om들이야나 지나시나 제공도 조금 되는 이체세. 지금 다 다르게 시야 되네. 제공도 되지 못도 제가
Meditation is meditation. We can talk about single pointed meditation and analytical meditation. Today I will talk about analytical meditations.
아니 제공세야 돼. 공부하는데 계시 주시더라고요.
And the analytical meditation is considered one of the most important meditation in the meditation.
지단하잖아요. 제공도 이해는 조금 쉬우로 체지 그래서. 나는 조금 쉬우로 체 이해지 조금 쉬울 공부지 그래서.
There are some practitioners who practice analytical meditation first, and then they proceed to then they start practicing single point meditation. Also, there are some practitioners who practice single point meditation first, and then they practice analytical meditation.
다들 강사 수술 칸다 봐도 온 걸 때. 사실 조금 더 이해지. 조금 뭐 요한 튼산은 조금 수다가 지지. 야, 강사 리지게 조금 더 이해지. 조금 뭐 요한 튼은 조금 수술이 지지. 되게 야, 사실 조금 더 조금 이거 손대진 거 같지.
And it's the decision is made based on individual's interest, his or his mental dispositions, and there are also some practitioners they combine both. They combine both analytical meditation and single point meditation.
다들 다른 지에 가르치는 거나 조지 반대 아디션을 무슨 뜻이겠어요?
So today the Geshe will explain the practice of analytical meditation in a way just as Atisha describes the way of the practice of analytical meditations.
아디션 고는
Have you heard of Atisha, Indian master?
Yes. 아디션 루루야 세계 고는 거스 고루루다.
Have you heard the Indian master Nagarjuna and Asanga? So the way in which he is describing the analytical meditation is the one method spoken by those Indian masters. In Tibet, the way the method of practicing meditation is mostly done as described in the text known as the Lama of the path, Shangchu Lamrim in Tibetan, the Lama of the path towards enlightenment. So the Tibetan the practitioners they practice analytical meditation just as the method described in the text known as the Lama of the path to enlightenment. Tibetan practitioners they practice analytical meditation based on the method spoken in the Lama of the path to enlightenment, and then they start practicing tantrayana. So this is the tradition initiated by the Indian master Atisha in Tibet. Geshe will say the short story in relate with this discussion. Atisha is from India, the most two famous university at the time of Buddha, the Nalanda and Vikramshila. Atisha spent some of his lifetime in Nalanda University, and mainly he spent his lifetime in the university known as Vikramshila University. Atisha was known as one of the most scholar and serious practitioner at that time in the university, in the Vikramshila University. And Tibet's religious king, they invited the most famous Indian scholar Atisha from the Indian university known as Vikramshila to Tibet. Tibetan religious kings, they chose one of the most famous scholar among the Indian masters in those universities. And Atisha was coming to Tibet was also kind of supported by the Tara, the deity Tara. Tara gave special blessing and encouragement to the Atisha to come to Tibet and spread Buddhism. At the time, the Indian masters in the Vikramshila University, they don't want to let Atisha go to Tibet because he is one of the best ones they have. According to the history, the Tara appeared in person in front of the Atisha and advised Atisha to go to Tibet because if he go to Tibet and he can help really Tibetan people to practice, study and practice Buddhism, and also it's but Atisha, in fact, Tara appeared in front of the Atisha and advised and encouraged him to go to Tibet and spread Buddhism. And Tara also told Atisha that your life, you will not have a very long life if you go to Tibet, but your life would be very meaningful because you would be able to spread Buddhism and help all the Tibetans who really needs Buddhism at the time. Tara also told Atisha that if you instead of going to Tibet, if you stay in India in the university, of course you would become very famous at the top of the head of the monastery, and also will have long life. But if you go to Tibet, your life will be shortened, but your life will be more meaningful, more helpful, more useful, more beneficial. So Atisha, after having kind of a formal discussion with the Tara, and he sacrificed himself. Even if he knows now that if he stay in India and then he's gonna have a long life and going to be the head of the monastery, but that is not the purpose of his life. Even though if he go to Tibet, even though he's gonna have his life gonna be shortened, but since his life gonna be more meaningful, more beneficial, and will be able to spread Buddhism to everybody. So that's why he chose to go to Tibet and sacrificing his own life. And the king, they are known as the religious king. They are known as Shangchuhe and Ishiwe, who invited Atisha from India to Tibet. They are the son of the religious king. They are also considered as a bodhisattva, a religious king. And the one of the religious king, in the process of inviting the Atisha to Tibet, one of the religious king was detained by one of the evil king in Tibet. Atisha, then finally Atisha came to Tibet and then he started composing the text known as Lamb of the Path to Enlightenment. So if you study the Lamb of the Path, you can understand, you can learn how to practice analytical meditation, and then that finally leads to the single point meditation. So what is analytical meditation? What is analytical meditation? And how you can do analytical meditation? Analytical meditation is you analyze the object continuously until you come to the conclusion, until you develop the wisdom that can understand the reality of the object, true ultimate reality of the object. So you have to spend a lot of time thinking or analyzing the object of your meditations. That is kind of known as analytical meditation. Single-pointed meditation is you don't employ an analytical mind. You just focus your mind. You just focus your mind on the object of your meditation without doing any kind of analyzation or investigation. And so, when you study Lamdam, you will the topic of the Lamdam is the relationship between teacher and the students, and how what kind of relationship that one needs to cultivate is how one has to establish the relationship between the student and the teacher, and the complete understanding of the pure relationship between the student and teacher is to be understood, is to be understood through the analytical meditation by studying the reason by studying the reason of the needs of having pure relationship between the student and the teacher. And the second next the chapter is topic of the Lama is known as to understand the importance of the precious human lifetime, human life, and this also you will, in other words, you will develop the complete understanding of the preciousness of our human life through studying and analyzing our human life. And also the next is they talk about the impermanence. Also the understanding of impermanence is also something that needs to be developed through the analytical meditations. And then when they talk about the three types of person with three levels of mental capacity, the person with small mental capacity, he or she needs to cultivate genuine faith and trust and conviction in the power of three jewels. And these conviction, trust, and faith can be also established in one's mind through the practice of analytical meditation. Without practicing, without studying, and without practicing analytical meditation, one cannot establish in genuine faith and conviction in the power of three jewels as well.